So friends, is it just me, or is it actually getting a little chilly in hell? Because the new reporting is that Senate Republicans are pushing back on some of Donald Trump's recklessness, his dangerousness, his bullshit. Let's talk about that, because justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So friends, courts are ruling against Donald Trump day after day, in case after case, literally from coast to coast, from sea to shining sea. And Donald Trump's solution? Impeach the judges. Effectively just destroy the judiciary, a co-equal branch of government. Well, now, even Senate Republicans are pushing back against Donald Trump. Let's start with the new reporting. This from The Hill. Headline, Senate Republicans urge Trump allies to stop threatening courts. And that article begins, Republican senators are warning that any efforts to impeach James Boasberg, the federal judge who ruled against President Trump's deportation of alleged Venezuelan gang members and is now handling a lawsuit related to senior Trump officials' use of Signal, would be dead on arrival in the Senate. Friends, here's a thought. How about not just dead on arrival? How about dead effing wrong? That's what Senate Republicans should be saying. My editorial edition. The article continues. Senior Senate Republicans also say they will oppose any effort by Speaker Mike Johnson to defund federal courts that rule against Trump's agenda, sending a message that they want to de-escalate Trump's war against the federal judiciary. Representative Brandon Gill, a Republican from Texas, introduced an article of impeachment against Boasberg earlier this month, citing abuse of power. It already has 22 co-sponsors. Johnson separately has floated the idea of simply eliminating courts that rule against Trump. The Senate voted 96-0 to confirm Boasberg to the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia in March 2011, with yes votes coming from Republicans still in the chamber today, such as Senators Susan Collins, John Cornyn, Lindsey Graham, Mitch McConnell, and Senate Majority Leader John Thune. And while the Senate has become more partisan over the past 14 years, many Republicans view themselves as the stewards of the federal judiciary and are not fond of Trump's escalating war of words with the third branch, which in some cases have been echoed enthusiastically by Trump's House allies. Trump called for Boasberg to be impeached after the judge ruled he could not invoke the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 to deport more than 200 people, including alleged gang members, without a hearing. That earned a rebuke from Chief Justice John Roberts, who noted that, quote, for more than 2 centuries, it has been established that impeachment is not an appropriate response to disagreement concerning a judicial opinion. And now, Senate Republicans are pleading with Trump and his allies to cool it with the courts. This quote from Senator Murkowski, quote, we're not even 100 days in to the new administration. We just can't be impeaching every judge that we don't like their decisions on, Senator Lisa Murkowski said. Quote, the threats about going after judges and then going after attorneys who are going to file lawsuits and not only forward, but going back 8 years to see who's done what doesn't make sense, she added. Cornyn, the former Senate GOP whip and a senior member of the Judiciary Committee, said the prospect of removing Boasberg or any other federal judge from the bench because Trump and his allies disagree with their rulings is a fantasy. Quote, "It's not going to happen," he said. "The numbers aren't there." One more time, friends. How about we don't hide behind math? Donald Trump's trying to do something blatantly improper, inappropriate, unconstitutional, and the best the senators can say is, well, the numbers aren't there. So if Donald Trump tried to repeal the U.S. Constitution by executive order, would the senators just say, I don't think the numbers are there? Or would they say, that's effing lawless and unconstitutional? Sadly, we probably know the answer to that question, don't we, friends? Cornyn's comment reflected the simple math problem any impeachment effort would face. Well, there he goes again, standing on math rather than on principle. You know, maybe that's the best we can hope for from Senate Republicans. But you know, friends, I do think that with each lawless act by Donald Trump, each unconstitutional executive order he signs, each abusive, unhinged midnight post, I actually think Donald Trump loses power, loses influence, loses support. You know, so let him continue to alienate enormous swaths of the American people and the American population. Let opposition grow and galvanize against Donald Trump's abuse of power. Because if he keeps it up, you know, he may just be orchestrating his own political demise. You know, the worm may turn. Because justice matters. Friends, as always, please stay safe. Please stay tuned. And I look forward to talking with you all again tomorrow.